Four candidates went head-to-head during the fourth Republican debate on NewsNation. I'll break down the biggest moments of the night here on the Jonathan Lovegrove YouTube channel. Well, right off the bat at this debate, we saw Vivek Ramaswamy and Ron DeSantis go after Nikki Haley. Haley has been rising in the polls nationally and in the early states, and they went after her. DeSantis started those attacks. Now, it got to an interesting point where they were attacking Haley on her big new donors. That was part of the question presented. And Haley said this.
And in terms of these donors that are supporting me, they're just jealous. They wish that they were supporting them, but I'm not going to sit there and deny.
There's an extent here that she's right. Haley has been growing her donor base, including some of these wealthier, old-school Republican donors. And that is a point of attack for DeSantis and Vivek. But as we kept on going in these attacks, Vivek pushed it in a direction that I think was a little too far.
The only person more fascist than the Biden regime now is Nikki Haley, who thinks the government should identify every one of those individuals with an ID.
Now, at this point in the debate, I think Haley did a decent job of staying somewhat above the fray. She didn't interject too often. And right here, she threw in this little phrase, which the Haley campaign is embracing.
And I love all the attention, fellas. Thank you for that.
So that sets the stage for this debate. A wild first few minutes. But as you're listening to that, you realize who was forgotten in the fray. Christie is standing there off to his side. And Christie is set apart. He answers that first question, and he points out Ron DeSantis avoiding questions. It's very similar to what he did to Marco Rubio in 2016. Watch this line from Christie.
Why doesn't he just answer the question? The question was very direct.
Now, it's a decent point he makes. Often the politicians go to their memorized speeches, and Ron was doing just a little bit of that. It's an interesting point by Christie, but things got even wilder from this point because the foreign policy debate over Ukraine started, and we know that is a huge point of contention on this stage. Listen to Christie's line to Vivek right here.
And I want to say
exactly what I said, Chris.
I'm not done yet.
Well, this
now
is
look.
This is nonsense. This man is spewing. This man is spewing nonsense.
Let me tell you something. This is the fourth debate that you would be voted in the first 20 minutes as the most obnoxious blowhard in America. So shut up for a little while.
And in a rapid-fire series of insults, we see Vivek and Christie go back and forth. Check out these clips right here.
We're now 25 minutes into this debate, and he has insulted Nikki Haley's basic intelligence. But I'll tell you this, I've known her for 12 years, which is longer than he's even started to vote in a Republican primary.
So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race.
Let me tell you. And I know about the threat of terrorism and bullying in this country and around the world. And at that time, he was learning about the provinces in Ukraine, sitting with his smart-ass mouth at Harvard. That's what was going on.
And it's this moment of the debate right here, which is why I named this video, America Loses. We are past the point of respectable civil debates. This is what America has descended to. America lost in this debate. But moving on, as we got into the meat of the debate, we began to see some good progress. We saw the border as a unifying issue for these candidates. And then I want to point out a few really strong points that were made. DeSantis mentioned trade schools and multiple career paths. You don't have to go to an Ivy League school. And that was a great point in the meat of the debate. Also, Vivek mentioned sick care, not health care, that the approach to health care in the U.S. is misguided. And I think both points there were excellent. That was some good meat of the debate. That's what we need more of. We need less arguing, more substance. But as we got into the second hour, Christie pointed out Trump and his strategy. Watch this clip.
Are about pursuing a plan of retribution. And yet, at the first debate, my three colleagues on this stage, when asked if he would be convicted of federal felonies, would they still support him, raise their hand, looked into the camera, and let everybody know that they would still support him, even if convicted of federal felonies. Federal felonies, by the way.
And as the moderators pushed Trump, Christie pushed Trump into the narrative, which I think was a good direction. Trump is leading. He needs to be talked about. And Christie once again brought up that attack on Ron, saying he doesn't answer questions clearly, specifically in relation to Trump's fitness. And then this was probably the worst moment of the debate for Christie. Watch this.
Parents are going to make decisions that we disagree with. But the minute you start to take those rights away from parents, you don't know that slippery slope, what rights are going to be taken away next, and what's going to be imposed on you.
As a parent, you do not have the right to abuse your kids. This is cutting off their genitals. This is mutilating these minors.
Christie opened up himself for an attack from DeSantis. DeSantis there can say, no, you as a parent do not have the freedom to mutilate children. It was a weak move by Christie, a weak policy point by Christie, and it opened up a very excellent opportunity for DeSantis to slip in. And now, right here, the most embarrassing moment of the debate. Take a look.
And I think that that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house. This is the problem, using identity politics more effectively than Kamala Harris.
Vivek and his sign, right here, this moment, shows to me that Vivek is no longer a viable candidate. I know many people support Vivek online. I already see you going down into my comment section. But the reality here is this. This is disrespectful. This shows disrespect to the process. This is just rude. It's not the right way to do politics. It's not civil. A handwritten sign calling another politician corrupt. And it lost the audience. You heard the audience boos there. And Nikki's response was excellent here. It's not worth my time. Well, this was a long debate. There was tons of chaos, a little bit of substance in there, and we saw some unifying themes like Israel support come through. But overall, this debate was chaotic, and that's why I'm here to summarize: America loses. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.